Right. Just going to start this live stream with a smile on my face. Firstly, I just went onto my Facebook wall and it's really sad. I had a troll comment and from Police Abusing Powers channel uploader Dan. I really do feel sorry for you. Have you really got nothing better to do? You're calling me a nutter. Stop wasting paramedics' time. Yeah. What a sad man you are. What a sad little man you are, Dan. This is a man who sent me a video of himself, of his Police Abusing Powers YouTube channel, of himself crying to his own people, saying that he was going to go and kill himself. And he's calling me a nut job on my Facebook wall. But don't worry, it's one of his many troll accounts that I've just blocked. And I'm smiling actually because I've just... I had a second lot of paramedics come to me today. Basically, what's happened is, because it's not really worth talking about that idiot, but obviously he's got nothing going on in his own life. If his own moderators are saying, you know, his own children don't love him and can't stand him, and yet he wants to attack a vulnerable woman who's been a victim of the most horrific corruption. And by the way, this Dan from Police Abusing Powers, you know, he's like all these others that I've been describing, starting off being kind and, you know, he actually was caused a lot of problems for my local MP office. His followers of his YouTube channel, Police Abusing Powers, caused a lot of distress to people at Caroline Ansell, the former MP's office. Apparently, the very people that he was passing me to from his YouTube channel, Police Abusing Powers, were apparently harassing the House of Commons and all this weird nutty behaviour. And yet this YouTube uploader, Dan from Police Abusing Powers, has got the nerve to troll me when I'm going through a very difficult time. This is what I mean. We don't have any real men anywhere, no real women. And he passed me to Tina Chave. Well, he didn't pass me to her. I said, he's got a live call in on his YouTube channel. This was about 3 years ago. And I called, this was whilst I was self-funding the Cavendish Hotel for 9 months for my safety, because I was attacked by these lunatics. Would you like me to remind you? A criminal on a tag, a mother and daughter who were mentioned in the national news as mugging the elderly for a second time, and I had my bedroom window smashed, and I had to deal with all of that on my own, and I was being arrested, yes. I called into Police Abusing Powers, and Dan said I was an incredibly brave, strong woman. You see what I mean? And the now deceased cancer patient, Juliet Rawson, who emailed Caroline Ansell, she had a look at Dan's channel, and she said they all seem like they're all fake, you know, you know. And I spoke to this Tina Chave, who was a follower of Dan's YouTube channel. police abusing powers. And she falsely offered me help. She said that she'd help me to help other people, that she had 40 years of experience of dealing with the police and talked herself up, had lawyers on standby in London and all these people. She's from Exeter in Devon, which is where my late mother's friend is from. And I'm dealing with all of this on my own, don't forget. But that's exactly what this demented landlady said to me. I will help you to help other people. And I've got evidence that she's in contempt of court and should be in prison. So, typical narcissism. So anyway, I just thought I'd say that. So I've blocked another one of his troll accounts. So such a coward that he had to get me at a time when I've called paramedics. Yeah. Carry on watching me, because you love me, because you hate yourself, but you love me, because I'm a wonderful, amazing, strong woman, which is something you won't ever be. And unlike you, I've never taken drugs in my life. And I'm 43. You're 3 years older than me, Dan. You wouldn't survive 2 minutes in my shoes. Could you cope with rape? Could you? Could you cope with rape? I don't think you could. Nah, neither could the police, who have also sexually assaulted me. But there we go. There we go. So this is a man who sent me a video of himself crying, saying I'm going to go and do something to myself. He reminds me of Bob Hoskins. Bob Hoskins as what's the name in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He talked like that. It's good to talk. He's got a round face, just like Bob Hoskins, and he talks like that. Except he uses filthy, foul-mouthed language. So, but anyway, not worth. I just thought I'd throw that one in. So basically, what's happened is this is complete. It's now 2:00 in the morning for anyone who's across the pond. Let me just play this recording. This is a reminder to you of what I've had to deal with in council accommodation. This is a criminal on a tag threatening to beat me senseless in a council accommodation, and it gives you a sense of what a women's prison might feel like without the screws. And by the way, I've just found out where the term screw comes from. It's a Victorian word. But anyway, I've led a sheltered life. So,
because I'll swear that I'll come up and I'll beat you senseless. You little bitch. I'll beat your Dory. Briney, I'm not fucking joking. I'm not fucking joking with you. I've had enough of this.
Police, please. And then 3 hours later, I say, thank goodness you're here. And then they arrest me. So there we go. That's a vile degenerate, a criminal on a tag threatening to beat me senseless at 3:00 in the morning in my own shared council accommodation. I've never known any anarchy like it in my life. Prison would be safer, I'm sure. I had my bedroom window smashed. I was attacked when I was in the bath. Drunks and drug addicts and goodness knows what. And to them, I had a silver spoon in my mouth. So anyway, So what happened was, now a mental health nurse in another town, in another county, in Crawley, this was last night. So the first set of paramedics turned up, and a mental health nurse in another town, in another county, thought it was very strange that I had seen a doctor sing at a doctor's surgery where they've now illegally deregistered me, but it's on the system that I'm still registered here. He's got it on his system, right, that he's actually, this mental health nurse has actually got the text messages that were sent to me. He's got the technology. A mental health nurse in another town, in another county, has got the text messages, his end, that were sent to me on the 27th of May this year from another doctor's practice in another town. Yes, in Hailsham. And what was frustrating me is they can create so much stress just with one small thing. But it's not a small thing. These people, I can't even get through to NHS 111, and I've proved that to the paramedics. My number has been blocked from ringing NHS 111, but no one's looked into it. I proved it to them. It keeps blocking my call held, and then it blocks it, right? That's on top of all of this. So basically what they've done is this. So I was registered to the Lighthouse practice. Dr. Carrow was meant to write a letter to the council. Dr. Woolhouse said he would do that. The local authorities have not acted by law for me, right? So I have not been provided with accommodation or anything. Yeah. So they then he then threatens me and my elderly acquaintance with police because we ask him to contact Ewan Morrison, the MP caseworker. This only happens to decent people, by the way. You won't get this happening to, vile thugs like this troll, or these drug addicts and junkies and goodness knows what. And even Dr. Singh said to me, he said to me, I won't get the help from adult social care because I'm too eloquent. But of course, when they create all these problems for me and I'm tearing my hair out and I'm going nuts because of these people, yeah, you see what I mean? The weaponization of mental health. Or as Mark Devlin's T-shirt says, I've forgotten what it says now. Tavistock resistant. That's it. I'm Tavistock resistant. So basically, what's happened is I'm still registered here, but they're telling me at the Victoria Medical Practice, which is in Old Town, that they should never have registered me because I've been registered in Hailsham, another town, against my will, that I'm part of a programme. This is what threw me against the wall. This is what has thrown me, like I haven't washed, I'm filthy, I'm dirty, my breath stinks, I haven't cleaned my teeth. I've got OCD, right? I've been having 2 baths a day, right? So this has just thrown me all over the place. I'm not getting any sleep on top of everything else that I'm dealing with. So I've got all this paperwork that I'm showing them, right? So this is the first set of paramedics that came out to me last night. And they've got this blue light thing, whatever you call it, where I'm speaking on a smartphone to this mental health worker in Crawley in West Sussex. I'm in East Sussex. So this is another town, another county. And this northern guy he doesn't think it's normal. I said, yeah, you're telling me. You're telling me it's not normal. Exactly. You see what I mean? On top of everything else, like refusing to call my sister a man. Yeah, just because you don't have real stories to tell. Yeah, I know I shouldn't. I know I should ignore these saddos. I know, but yeah. So basically, this has really like thrown me, because this Dr. Singh, he's not even the allocated GP. It's a Dr. Brink. I had to look at the prescription to see that. So this Dr. Singh was going to do these blood tests for me. He was going to help me with all these things like my OCD, adult social care. He told me, he didn't even want me to talk too much. He said, write down what you need help with and come back to me. And I'd had a double appointment with him. This was another double appointment that was booked on Friday. And I rang up to say, I'm so sorry that I'm not going to make it. I'm 5 minutes late. And that's when this woman said to me, well, I'm sorry, you're not on the system. You should never have been registered here. Well, I said, what are you talking about? And this mental health nurse that I was speaking to for an hour here on my bed in front of the paramedics, he thinks it's crazy that I've seen a Dr. Singh, but I've been deregistered. So this just then creates a whole problem in itself, right? So I'm, of course, tearing my hair out. I could get a child to have sorted it out just like that. But no, all this technology, all this is all the technology I have. An amateur YouTube channel and this, a dictaphone and this thing. The old phones are now going for a lot of money on eBay because of the digital ID thing. People are now wanting these things, right? I'm not a technophobe. I'm a technophobe, right? So they've got all of this information, but they've created, this is what the UK, the NHS is like. They create a mountain out of a molehill. And as I said, I could have got a child to sort this out for me. So what's then happened is this has caused me so much distress because, of course, Dr. Singh, who was so apologetic for my past experiences, who did what all the others have done, Ewan Morrison, all these liars, all these people who've lied to me, the Bent solicitor, Dr. Caro saying to me, yes, I am very cross that you have been failed so badly and putting me through to useless community connectors. Do you know what? There's so much bullshit going on in this town. It's unbelievable. Do you know what? They took 10 years ago, they took homeworks, took advocacy off their leaflets because of me and Darren. We said, we would like advocacy, please. We don't do advocacy. Why is it on your leaflet? Oh, so they took it off their leaflet because of us. And then they're doing this, as a paramedic said, doing this bullshit thing of empowering people, getting people to do things for themselves and calling it empowering yourself. Could anything be more gaslighty, bullshitty? Do you see what I mean? So this is the kind of nonsense that, you know, that's nothing compared to everything else. That's just a tiny example of, but anyway, so what's happened is, so this mental health nurse thinks that this is not right. He said, well, you're still So he still hadn't answered questions that could have been answered in that whole hour that I was getting myself worked, because of course it's always, you know, it's always us, the victim, who is the one getting ourselves worked up. It's never anyone, you know, no one can ever take responsibility for themselves in a country that is so toxic, that people are trying to get the hell out of here, that is so, you know, it's not my fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. Nothing's ever my fault. It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. You know, no one ever puts their hands up. But notice how it's the person who always puts their hands up. It reminds me of a time when the music teacher in year 8 screamed his head off. Who's put the pile of the music sheets? He was tearing his hair out. Who has done this? And there was silence. And for some reason, I automatically owned up. I walked towards the piano as if I felt I should be the one who takes all the bullshit. And he screamed at me, and I thought, why am I doing this? And I thought, I could cry. I don't even know if it was me that did that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm off and put my hands up when I haven't, and I was about 12 years old when I did that. But do you see what I mean? So anyway, so I've gone off on a tangent there, but as I do, but basically what the point that I'm trying to make here is this mental health nurse could have answered a question that he didn't answer. So what's then happened is this is just overnight. It's been, you know, because the thing is that the paramedics left me in distress. I can't register with a doctor's practice. They've got it on their system that I'm registered with the Beacon Centre, but I'm also registered, but I can't. But I've been taken off. But I'm being told I've been taken off their system by a woman on the Friday. So it rolled over into today. So I was still distressed. I was pissed off because I couldn't ring. I'm blocked from ringing NHS 111, which is very serious. Still nobody has sorted that problem out for me. So anytime I need to now ring 999 or paramedics or medical care, I have to ring the emergency number. And I have been told by people that it's okay to do that. But I did actually have a call handler say this is an emergency line. So they, you know, they always want to play games. It's always games, and they read off the same script. Can you put your fingers on your chest? You know what I'm talking about. Can you put your fingers on your chest? Because you lot, I know you do it as well. That's why you're attacking me, because you do it yourself. We're going round in circles. Heard it all before. Yawn. You know, that's why the NHS is screwed, because people are fed up with hearing everyone moan about the same bloody thing. Welcome to the UK. So basically, so then I go down to, I get more, so because obviously this problem has not been resolved, the suicide ideation is always there, but it's triggered. Now, unlike this Dan police abusing powers, he'll probably start ringing me from an unknown number because he's all lonely, and crying because he can't get his viewers to feel sorry for him. Unlike him, I still haven't found out how my father died, and I was locked out of a brand new flat on news that my father had died. by people trained to deal with complex needs. Yes. And I am someone who actually did paid care work. Yes. 20 years ago. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I've still got all of that to deal with. I still haven't had a mental health breakdown. I'm actually smiling right now because that troll comment from Dan, the police abusing powers channel uploader that I just mentioned, has actually made my day. Thank you so much for that. You've made me smile. Do it again. Give me another. Go on, give me another troll comment. Go on, I dare you. I dare you. Or why don't you ring me from an unknown number again? Why don't you do that? Yeah. So they want to upset me. And they're just making me laugh. That's Police Abusing Powers UK channel. And you wonder why your country is screwed up. Yeah, because we've got too many of those. Oh, do you know, I've just watched a video, right? It's changing the subject, but it's the same kind of thing. I've just watched a video of a war veteran, 94 years old, and he's wondering, he's actually saying on Channel 5, he's saying, why the hell, well, he didn't actually say it in these exact words verbatim, but he's saying, why the hell did I fight for this country? And was I fighting the right enemy? Because basically it wasn't worth it for turds like you. Yes, you should be ashamed of yourselves. People died for our freedoms. What, so that you could join the police force, join the playground, and you know the playground bullies. My sister's not calling me a man. I'm not making fun of my sister, by the way. It's her support worker. But even so, I was still arrested on a civil matter with false allegations because I refused to call my sister a man and because I have freedom of expression. And as the black belt barrister said, yes, an actual UK barrister has shown it's written in law that we can actually express ourselves by being offensive. But I wasn't even offensive about my sister. So that's the country that we are living in, the UK. And America, it's coming to you. So watch out. So yeah, I have to go on these little tangents, but they're not tangents because they're still related to the same matter. My mother lived through the Second World War. My grandmother lived through 2 world wars, and she said we'd be speaking German. But you know, this is what they've done to me. I've still got to make a complaint about that vile woman on the desk and her manageress, because they think it's normal that I was beaten by the police in A&E, and rape was, I actually laughed off rape because I'm that brave, I'm that strong. I put someone in prison for rape and 2 years in prison and 10 years on a sex offenders register. I actually went to Crawley in West Sussex, which is where this mental health nurse is based, to the Saturn Rape Victim Centre. Eastbourne police helped me with that. Now they've sexually assaulted me. They've got me on my free speech. When these cowards know that I'm struggling and I've been a victim of crime and corruption and I'm extremely vulnerable and that I've got no one. And do you know who that PC McCarthy actually reminded me of, this Dan from Police Abusing Powers? Because him and the bald-headed thug PC Ford, they were getting in my face. They were beating and assaulting me and calling my partner Darren a CUNT to my face. Yeah. I told the lovely man, there was a lovely man in triage in A&E today, and he was listening to me. He was all ears. He was nothing like those nasty women on the desk. And I'm still going to complain to pals about them. I've had to work with women like that. They get together like the girls in a playground. But the staff I suppose they have nicer staff at the weekend, because I showed the lady on the desk, I said, you show that Mandy this, and you can have a gossip about it. She got me a cup of tea. She was all right. But anyway, so I am just having to, So anyway, so basically, getting back to this, so basically what's happened is paramedics came round again today, because I can't get through to NHS 111. My calls are blocked. I've got no GP practice. I need answers. So if you're not going to solve something that's actually very serious, because this doctor, I can't get an iron infusion in the hospital unless I've got a GP, and I've been pissed around, and this mental health nurse in Crawley thinks this isn't normal. He thinks it's not normal, but he couldn't even answer the question that I had to go to A&E for today, right? So I was taken to A&E. I took all the papers with me, the bits and pieces with me, vented it all out to triage, who listened. Do you know what? I even told them about how that the time when I had Juliet Rawson with me, a cancer patient, and the crisis team was saying to me, don't you think this isn't the place for a cancer patient? I said, Juliet is here because you won't help me. So don't scapegoat Juliet. And now she's dead, apparently. So there we go. But this really nice man was listening to me. If people are going to listen to me in these last days, because I seem to be the only person speaking sense. And I've had people for years say to me, people will come to you for help, which funnily enough, this criminal landlady said that. Tina Chave said that. This vile Dan troll from Police Abusing Powers, his friend, said, I will help you to help other people. But I guess it's something that you just do naturally, just by speaking your truth, which they don't like. So what happened was, I know it's taking me a long time to say it. I then speak to two people from the crisis team, which I'd honestly, I'd rather be dead. I'd rather stuff my head down the toilet than speak to these people. They did nothing in Brighton. Well, a mental health nurse in A&E in Brighton spoke to the managing director of Law Stop when I was being basically legal aid have been exploiting me. They've done it with three law firms now. Three law firms in total have exploited me under legal aid. I was at 4 South Road in New Haven, which was my childhood best friend's home before I knew her, and it's now a council accommodation in New Haven. And Jackie and Jamie, who remembers me from primary school, wanted to help me, but then said, we have to threaten you with police if you don't leave. Well, that's very helpful, isn't it? Just because I turned down a grotty flat. It's all illegal. It's all corrupt. Okay? These people just think they can do whatever they want with you because it's temporary accommodation. They'll do whatever they want with you. You could complain about anything, which is why this landlady is friends with Charles Lucas Property Management, because they protect criminals in the UK. So I'm speaking to the French guy and this English lady from the crisis team, and I said, I do hope that you are not, putting down any disparaging information about me, because there was a time when I was speaking to a woman, I think called Jane, and she'd been listening for some time like this. And when I suddenly looked at, this was a few years ago, I looked down at what she'd written. She wrote one thing: aggressive. Nothing else. There was this woman with a blonde bob. What was that? Was it Jane? I can't remember. But she was like this, listening to me. And I looked down at what she'd written. I said, why are you saying I'm aggressive? Well, I'm sorry, Bryony, but you come across as aggressive. These people are nuts. These people are dangerous. People don't turn up for appointments and then they put on your record that you're not engaging. They're nuts. They're just nuts. So anyway, I spoke to these two people. I really let rip, I really, obviously, when you're carrying so much baggage, this was today in A&E, I was like talking very, I haven't even had a mental breakdown yet. I haven't found out how my father died. It could be something very, very distressing. On top of everything else, all the crime and corruption that I am dealing with, so I haven't had a mental breakdown yet. And every now and again, there's a woman going, are you okay? She's opening the door and making sure that they're safe with me. And I said, I understand that. It's fine. But isn't it interesting that in that tiny room where they've got a picture of bluebells, and I won't talk about that because it's a personal thing, but in the tiny, tiny room, and it's a very tiny room, just off A&E, just where it's where reception is. There's a tiny, tiny room. It's another room. It's smaller than this room. I was beaten all night long by PC Ford, PC Lines and PC McCarthy. PC Ford, the bald-headed thug, played my YouTube channel. Yes, let's make him famous. A bald-headed Eastbourne police officer called PC Ford. Now, people keep saying to me, did you take pictures of what they did to you? I said, I can't keep up with it. I can't keep up with it. I don't want to end up with cancer or dementia or anything like that. I've already lost a lot of blood, and I didn't even realize that I could have a life-threatening condition because of the stress of what has been done to me. These people are dangerous psychopaths, right? But no one was checking in on me. No, even though I actually went to the reception desk to cry out for help because of what these thugs were doing to me. They ripped my shirt, they broke my phone, and I had to have x-rays. And I said to this, there you go, tampering with the live stream.